Hey everybody, happy Friday. The weekend will be here soon. If you're not done class yet, enjoy the weekend. This is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Bordick. This is a reaction to the Flyers' very bad loss. Not very bad loss, but very tough loss against the Lightning because we actually had 37 shots on goal. They had 22 and they beat us 5-1. Usually beating them substantially in shots on goal doesn't equate to losing 5-1, but the Flyers have a lot of mix in this game. They let themselves down on D, but Point also just made a nice move in front of the net. Gord, we probably could have guarded better in front of the net. Callahan just made a great move around goes. TK continues to keep scoring, so he's on a roll going into the All-Star break to keep making him feel good, which is great. And then Nemestikov got two. We just had some defensive issues that game and some bad mistakes that allowed them to capitalize on some chances. And then other plays were just good plays made by the Lightning. The Lightning are one of the best, if not the best, probably the best offensive team in the NHL. So they're a team that can win if they only get 27 shot or 22 shot and you get 37, especially also not in small part due to the fact that fact of their goaltending. Vasilevsky could not be beat yesterday. The biggest thing about him is he's a huge guy, like a tall, big guy, but he can still cover the bottom of the net with the best of them, which is why he's in and keeps growing and keeps becoming an elite goaltender, because he keeps evolving and getting better and better as each time goes on, and he can cover the whole net with the best of them. And he, like they said in the Huggins, reminds us of another Russian goaltender that played for the Flyers before, Sergei Bobrovsky. So those guys are very hard to beat. We found that out yesterday. We definitely did not play well enough in a lot of aspects of this game to win this game, but we definitely played better than losing 5-1. I mean, like I said, we outbeat them on shots. We lost in the face-offs. Our biggest issue yesterday was we could have made this a very close game because they only had one power play. We had four, but the only goal we had was on one of our four power plays by TK. So this game could have been a lot closer if we capitalized on power plays. We had some chances, Vasilevsky, Robertson, a few, and some chances we just didn't capitalize on. So realistically, if I had to pick out one main thing on offense that lost the Flyers the game yesterday, other than a few defensive hiccups that I said that allowed some Tampa Bay goals, that would be the fact that we could not capitalize on our power play other than the one towards the end of the game. So that's something that obviously the Flyers will look at over the All-Star break going into playing great teams, because we have great competition the first two games back. The first game is against Washington, who's first in our division. The next is against the Devils, who are right above us, actually tied with us in points. We're tied in points in the wild card right now with the Devils, as Columbus and Pittsburgh jump back ahead of us to be in the top three for the Metropolitan. So right now, going to the All-Star break is Washington, Columbus, Pittsburgh as the top three in the Met, and then the Flyers and New Jersey as the wild card. So the Flyers have two hugely important games as soon as they get back on the ice after the All-Star break. Beating the Capitals and the Devils would be huge in terms of playoff positioning. Frankly, getting the Capitals to overtime, because we sometimes struggle against them, and then beating the Devils would even be huge in that way, because that's 3 points. And then the team that's always going to be tough to catch is the Caps. Out of all the teams, the toughest to catch. So letting them get 1 point is definitely not the worst team. If that's the worst case scenario, if we can just go into overtime and get a point ourselves. But obviously, we would love to win the game in regulation, but I'm just outlining a scenario that's better than nothing, because the Caps are the team that the Flyers likely won't catch unless if they go on a big run, or somebody else in the Met goes on a big run, because right now they have 63 points, the second closest is 57, which is not that far divided, but the Capitals don't go on long, extended losing streaks a lot. So they're going to have to start doing that, and one of these teams hopefully if one of the teams does it, it's us, has to really come up. But I see the Capitals being the team that you can let get 1 point if you have to push it into overtime. But the Devils game is a game the Flyers are going to have to battle it down. We played them well a couple of times, but we just have to get it done. We have to play good D, play better than we did yesterday, obviously, and play like we played the games before, because we're playing great of late. Yesterday was a hiccup, and we're going to bounce back from it. I think we're going to at least win one of those first two games back, but we should win 2 of our first 3 games back, because we should at least beat Washington or New Jersey. Beating both would be a huge accomplishment, but we should at least beat one. And then we play Ottawa that Saturday, who's one of the subpar teams in the league. So as long as we don't play down to them, we should have at least 2 out of 3 when we come back, which is a great way to kick it off post All-Star break, and possibly 3 out of 3 if we can, in my opinion, beat the Capitals. I think we can beat New Jersey, especially if Hall's still out and such on. So this has been a reaction. The Flyers, they were sluggish yesterday. They came out slow, gave us some sloppy plays. That is why they lost, as well as not capitalizing on their power play. And not the best goaltending by Neuwirth, but I definitely can't blame him. He had some shots that I don't think Elliott or anybody or many people were just open in front of the net, and that's on the D. But some were on Neuwirth for his reactions and etc. I thought he could have been a little bit quicker on the rebound goal, but by Gord. But it is what it is. We lost. We're 8-3 in our last 11 going into the All-Star break. It's really good. We're in the playoffs again in the wild card. If we go back to look over a week ago, we were barely. So we've been going on a huge run, and this is a great run to go into the All-Star break. It would have been even better winning yesterday, but you can't win them all. So just come back, win 2 out of 3. When you come back 3 out of 3 would be great. The Flyers are going to be fine. This is just one bad game, one bump in the road. We are going good now. This team's showing great morale, great fight, great team chemistry that we weren't showing at parts earlier in the season, which was giving us issues. I think this team will bounce back right away now and not have the issues they had earlier in the season where you're going to run, have that one bad game, and then crash for a bit. I think we'll be fine, especially sometimes the break could be worse, but sometimes it could also help, because after you lose a game like that, you're going to go, well, we outplayed them in some aspects, but they outplayed us in others. How come we lost? And those things, asking those questions, can really help you to win as soon as you come out of the break. Well, for the Flyers, Claude Giroux has the weekend to enjoy at the All-Star game. Hopefully he does well, his team does well, and it is a great All-Star game on Sunday. Should be a great All-Star games for the NHL. Have a great day, everyone. Have a fantastic weekend. This is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric. This is a reaction to a tough defeat at the hand of the Lightning, but it is what it is. We'll move on. Win those 2 out of 3 when we come back, or 3 out of 3. That would be great. Peace out, everybody. Have a good one.